Imagine this for a moment. You are sitting alone in your room. You want to practice English speaking, but there is no one around you to talk to. You feel a little nervous, maybe even shy, because speaking English fluently seems like a big challenge. But what if I tell you that you can become a confident English speaker even if you practice completely by yourself? Yes, it's true. You don't always need a partner, a teacher, or a classroom. You can train your voice, your fluency, and your confidence right from your own space. And that's exactly what we're going to explore in today's episode. Welcome to the English Diary podcast. Today we are going to talk about one of the most powerful and practical ways to improve your English: practicing speaking by yourself. Many learners think that they cannot improve without a partner. They say, I have no one to talk to. How can I practice? But the truth is, some of the best speakers in the world started by talking to themselves. And guess what? Talking to yourself is not crazy. It is actually one of the smartest learning strategies. So, let's go step by step, in detail, and I'll guide you through methods, techniques, and habits that you can use every single day to improve your English speaking, even if you're alone. By the end of this podcast, you have a complete plan to transform yourself into a fluent and confident speaker. Why practicing alone works. First, let's break a myth. Many learners believe that speaking is only possible with another person. But think about it. When actors rehearse their lines, do they always need another actor? No. When singers practice songs, do they always need a band? Not at all. They rehearse, they practice, and they refine on their own before they perform with others. English is exactly the same. Practicing alone gives you three big advantages. Freedom. You can speak without fear of judgment. No one is watching, so you can make mistakes, experiment with words, and try new expressions without hesitation. Repetition. You can repeat the same word, the same sentence, or even the same speech again and again until it feels natural. A partner might get bored, but you never will. Control. You decide the pace. If you want to speak slowly, go slow. If you want to speed up, go fast. You are in charge of your practice. So, remember this. Practicing alone is not a weakness, it is a superpower. Step 1. Start with daily self-talk. The first technique is self-talk. It may sound strange, but it works like magic. Every morning or evening, talk to yourself in English for a few minutes. Describe what you are doing, what you are feeling, or what you are planning. For example, when you wake up, you can say, I am brushing my teeth. I am feeling a little tired, but I'm ready for the day. Today, I want to complete my tasks and call my friend. At first, this may feel a bit artificial, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Self-talk trains your brain to think in English, and thinking in English is the key to fluency. Tip: don't worry about grammar in the beginning. Focus on expressing your thoughts. Even if you make mistakes, just keep going. Remember, fluency comes from practice, not from perfection. Step 2. The shadowing technique. One of the most effective ways to practice speaking by yourself is the shadowing technique. Here's how it works. Choose a short audio or video in English. Maybe a podcast, a speech, or even a movie dialogue. Play it and listen carefully. Now, play it again, and this time, try to repeat the words at the same time as the speaker, like a shadow following the body. At first, it will be difficult. You might not catch every word. But slowly, your mouth, your ears, and your brain will start to coordinate. You'll pick up pronunciation, rhythm, and natural intonation. Shadowing is not just listening. It's active imitation. It's like singing along to your favorite song until you know it by heart. Step 3. Record your voice. This is a game changer. Use your phone or computer to record yourself speaking English. Talk about your day, read an article aloud, or give a mini speech. Then, listen to your recording. When you listen, ask yourself, do I sound clear? Am I speaking too fast or too slow? Where do I hesitate? At first, you might feel shy hearing your own voice. Many people hate their recorded voice. But trust me, this is one of the most powerful ways to improve. You become your own teacher. You notice your weak points and you fix them. Here's a secret. Most professional speakers record themselves regularly. They listen, they analyze, and they improve. So, if you want to sound professional, start recording today. Step 4. Describe your surroundings. Another simple and effective way to practice speaking alone is to describe what you see. Look around your room, your street, or your office and speak out loud. For example, I see a chair in the corner. The chair is brown and wooden. The weather outside looks cloudy. I think it might rain. My desk is messy. There are books, pens, and a cup of tea. This may feel basic, but it's powerful. Why? Because you are connecting your eyes, your thoughts, and your mouth, all in English. This builds a direct link between your environment and your language. Step 5. Practice mini stories. Humans love stories. And stories are also a great way to practice English. Start telling yourself mini stories in English. It doesn't have to be complicated. For example, yesterday, I went to the park. I saw some children playing football. I sat on a bench and read a book. It was relaxing. Or you can make up imaginary stories. One day, I will travel to London. I will visit the Tower Bridge. I will eat fish and chips. And I will talk to local people. By telling stories, you practice tenses, vocabulary, and imagination. You also learn how to connect sentences smoothly. Step 6. Think in English. This is one of the most important habits. Most learners translate from their native language to English. This slows them down. Instead, train your brain to think directly in English. Here's how. When you see something, name it in English immediately. Don't translate. For example, if you see an apple, just think apple, not the word in your native language. If you feel hungry, think I'm hungry, not the translation. At first, it's hard. But with practice, your brain gets faster. And once you start thinking in English, speaking becomes effortless. Step 7. Use mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, and start speaking. Pretend you are talking to another person. This technique is amazing for building confidence. You can practice common questions like, "Hello, how are you? What do you do? Where are you from?" Answer them as if you are in a real conversation. When you practice in front of the mirror, you also see your facial expressions, your smile, and your body language. All of these are important parts of communication. Step 8. Learn phrases, not just words. Many learners try to memorize long lists of words. But real speaking is about phrases. For example, instead of learning the word problem, learn the phrase I have a problem. Instead of just beautiful, learn that's a beautiful view. Phrases are like ready-made building blocks. When you memorize them, you can speak faster without thinking too much. So whenever you learn a new word, try to learn it in a full sentence. So far, we've talked about some simple yet powerful ways to practice English speaking by yourself. Self-talk, shadowing, recording your voice, describing your surroundings, telling mini stories, mirror practice, learning phrases, and staying consistent. If you started applying even one or two of these methods, you're already making progress. But now, let's move into the next level. These are advanced solo speaking techniques that can supercharge your fluency and confidence. Step 11. Role-play different situations. Role-play means pretending you are in a real-life situation and acting it out. You don't need another person. You can play both roles yourself. For example, Situation 1. At a restaurant. You. Hello, can I see the menu, please? Waiter. You again, of course. Here is the menu. What would you like to order? You. I'd like a sandwich and a cup of tea. Situation 2. At the airport. You. Good morning. I'd like to check in for my flight. Officer. You again, sure. May I have your passport? You. Here it is. By role-playing, you prepare yourself for real conversations. You already know what words and phrases you'll need, So when the real moment comes, you'll feel confident and ready. Step 12. Teach an imaginary class. Another powerful technique is to become the teacher. Pretend that you are teaching English or any subject to imaginary students. Explain concepts in simple English. For example, today we are going to talk about how to use the present perfect tense. We use it to describe actions that happened in the past but are connected to the present. For example, I have eaten breakfast. When you explain something out loud, your brain works harder. You learn not only to understand, but also to communicate ideas clearly. This practice strengthens your speaking, your organization of thoughts, and your confidence. Step 13. Practice debating with yourself. This may sound funny, but it's incredibly effective. Choose a topic and argue both sides. For example, topic: is technology good or bad for society? Side A: I think technology is amazing. It helps us connect, it makes life easier, and it gives us endless information. Side B: but technology also creates problems. People spend too much time on phones, and it can harm relationships. By debating with yourself, you practice critical thinking, vocabulary, and fluency. You also learn to see different perspectives, which is very useful in real conversations. Step 14. Storytelling with emotions. We already talked about telling mini stories. Now let's make it more advanced. Add emotions and drama. Don't just tell a story, perform it. For example, flat version: yesterday, I missed the bus. I was late for work. Emotional version: oh no. Yesterday, I was running to catch the bus, but it left right in front of me. I felt so frustrated, and then I realized I was going to be late for work. Adding emotion makes your speaking more natural, more memorable, and more enjoyable. It also trains you to use intonation, stress, and pauses just like native speakers. Step 15. Imitate your favorite speakers. Choose an English speaker you admire. It could be a YouTuber, an actor, a motivational speaker, or even a character from a TV show. Study how they speak. Notice their rhythm, their pauses, their energy. Then, try to imitate them. Copy their style. If they speak fast, try speaking fast. If they use humor, try adding humor. This exercise helps you expand your speaking range and discover new ways of expressing yourself. Step 16. Practice describing pictures or videos. Find a random picture online or pause a movie scene. Then, describe everything you see in detail. Example with a picture. In this picture, I see a family having dinner together. The father is wearing a blue shirt, the mother is smiling, and the children look excited. On the table, there is pizza, salad, and juice. This trains you to be specific, to notice details, and to express them quickly in English. It's also a great way to build vocabulary. Step 17. Use AI tools as conversation partners. Even though this podcast is about practicing alone, you don't have to be completely isolated. Today, we have amazing AI tools and apps that can simulate conversation partners. You can practice speaking with apps that give you instant feedback. For example, you can ask a question like, "What do you think about traveling to space?" and then practice responding as if you are in a real chat. This way, you're not just talking to yourself, you're talking to a tool that challenges you with new questions and topics. Step 18. Narrate your daily activities. We already mentioned describing your surroundings, but let's go deeper. Narrate your day like a documentary. Pretend you're the narrator of your own life. Example: now, I am walking to the kitchen. I open the fridge and I see some apples. I wash one apple and take a big bite. The taste is sweet and refreshing. This constant narration keeps your brain in English mode all day long. You'll be surprised how quickly this builds fluency. Step 19. Practice question-answer sessions. Fluency is not only about speaking, it's also about answering quickly. So prepare a list of common questions and practice answering them. For example, what do you do in your free time? What was your favorite childhood memory? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Answer each question with 2 or 3 sentences. Then challenge yourself. Answer the same question in a different way. This builds flexibility in your speaking. Step 20. Set milestones and track progress. Finally, for this section, let's talk about measuring progress. Sometimes learners feel like they're not improving. But the truth is, progress is slow and invisible until you measure it. So, set milestones. Week 1. Speak for 2 minutes without stopping. Week 2. Record a 5-minute story. Week 3. Teach an imaginary class for 10 minutes. Track your recordings, write down your achievements, and compare them over time. You'll see how much better you've become. Headphone quick reminder. If you're enjoying this episode and finding these tips useful, don't forget to subscribe to the English Diary podcast. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content for your English learning journey. The mindset you need for solo practice. Before we move further, let's talk about something very important: mindset. Many learners quit because they feel awkward talking to themselves. They think, this is silly, or I feel crazy. But here's the truth. Practicing alone is one of the smartest things you can do. Every expert, whether in sports, music, or language, spends us practicing alone. A football player doesn't always play a match. He spends us kicking the ball alone. A singer doesn't always sing in a concert. She practices scales alone. And just like that, an English speaker doesn't always need a partner. You can practice solo until you're ready to shine in real conversations. So, if you ever feel strange about talking to yourself, remember, you are not crazy. You are dedicated. And that dedication will make you successful. Overcoming self-doubt. Another challenge learners face is self-doubt. They think, my pronunciation is bad, or I will never sound fluent. But the reality is, everyone starts somewhere. Nobody is born fluent. Even native speakers make mistakes when they are children. The key is to keep going. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Celebrate small victories. Today, I spoke for 3 minutes without stopping. Today, I learned 5 new phrases. We've come a long way together in this episode. By now, you know that practicing English alone is not only possible, but it's also one of the smartest ways to improve fluency. You've learned techniques like self-talk, shadowing, storytelling, role-play, teaching imaginary classes, debating with yourself, narrating daily activities, and even practicing with music. Now, let's take all of these methods and put them into a structured plan. Because knowledge is powerful, but only if you use it. Creating your daily speaking routine. The key to mastering English speaking is consistency. So let's build a simple daily routine you can follow. Here's one example of a 30-minute daily practice routine. Minute 1 to 5. Warm up. Start with self-talk. Describe your current mood or what you are about to do. Example, I'm sitting at my desk. I feel excited to start today's practice. Minute 6 to 10. Shadowing. Play a short audio clip or video and repeat along with the speaker. Focus on pronunciation and rhythm. Minute 11 to 15. Storytelling. Tell a mini story from your life or create an imaginary one. Add emotions, details, and gestures. Minute 16 to 20. Mirror practice or role play. Stand in front of the mirror and practice questions and answers, or act out a role play situation. Minute 21 to 25. Recording. Record yourself speaking about any topic. For example, today I will talk about my favorite movie. Listen to it later. Minute 26 to 30. Reflection and review. Listen to your recording or repeat the story with improvements. Take one new phrase you learned and use it in a sentence. That's it. Just 30 minutes. If you can commit to this routine daily, your fluency will grow faster than you expect. Weekly challenges for growth. To keep things exciting, add weekly challenges. Here are some ideas. Week 1. Speak for 3 minutes non-stop. Week 2. Record a 5-minute talk and analyze your mistakes. Week 3. Teach an imaginary class for 10 minutes. Week 4. Debate with yourself for 15 minutes on one topic. At the end of the month, you'll feel a noticeable difference in your confidence. Long-term solo practice strategies. Daily and weekly habits are great, but let's also look at the long term. 1. Build a personal dictionary. Whenever you learn a new word or phrase, don't just write it down. Speak it aloud 3 times. Then use it in a sentence. For example, if you learn the phrase make progress, say, I want to make progress in English. She is making progress in her studies. Am I making progress today? 2. Recycle old material. Don't always chase new words. Go back to old stories, recordings, or exercises and repeat them. This strengthens your memory and builds automatic fluency. 3. Celebrate small wins. Set small goals and celebrate them. For example, I spoke for 10 minutes today without stopping. I used 3 new phrases in my practice. Reward yourself. It could be as simple as saying, great job, I'm proud of myself. Motivation grows when you recognize your progress. Advanced fluency hacks. Now let's cover some creative hacks to make solo practice even more powerful. Hack 1. Pretend you're on stage. Imagine you're giving a TED Talk. Pick any topic, education, travel, technology, and deliver a 5-minute speech as if thousands of people are listening. This builds confidence and presentation skills. Hack 2. Interview yourself. Pretend you're on a TV show. Ask yourself questions like, can you tell us about your childhood? What was the biggest challenge you overcame? What advice would you give to young learners? Answer with enthusiasm, as if millions of viewers are watching. Hack 3. Speak with background noise. Sometimes learners practice in silence, but real conversations happen in noisy places, cafes, streets, airports. Play some background noise on YouTube and practice speaking over it. This trains your focus and prepares you for real-life situations. Hack 4. Act out movies or dialogues. Choose your favorite scene from a movie and act it out. Play all the roles yourself. Add gestures, expressions, and energy. This makes practice fun and dynamic, staying motivated for the long journey. Now, let's talk about motivation. Learning English is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Some days you'll feel excited, other days you'll feel lazy or discouraged. That's normal. Here are some ways to stay motivated. Track your journey. Keep a speaking journal or folder of recordings. Seeing your improvement will keep you inspired. Visualize success. Imagine yourself speaking confidently in a job interview, at the airport, or at an international event. Remind yourself why. Ask, why am I learning English? Maybe it's for a job, travel, studies, or personal growth. Keep that reason in front of you. Enjoy the process. Don't only focus on the final goal. Enjoy each small step, each new phrase, each story you tell. Common mistakes to avoid. As you practice alone, watch out for these mistakes. Focusing only on grammar. Remember, communication is more important than perfection. Practicing only once in a while. Consistency matters more than long sessions. Being too hard on yourself. Mistakes are part of learning. Don't let them stop you. Ignoring pronunciation. Fluency includes clarity. Practice pronunciation regularly. Avoid these mistakes, and your journey will be smoother. Building confidence in real conversations. Some learners say, I can speak alone, but when I meet real people, I freeze. That's normal. Speaking alone builds fluency, but confidence with others comes step by step. Here's a strategy. Start with solo practice. Record yourself until you feel comfortable. Slowly join small conversations, maybe online speaking clubs or short chats with friends. Expand into longer conversations with strangers. Think of solo practice as your training ground. The real world is your performance. If you practice enough, when the moment comes, you'll feel ready. A final motivational roadmap. Let's put everything together. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You've been practicing daily, self-talk, storytelling, mirror practice, role plays, and recordings. You've challenged yourself weekly and tracked your progress. Now picture this. You meet someone new and you introduce yourself confidently. At work or school, you share your opinion clearly. In a public setting, you even give a small speech without fear. That version of you is possible. It's not a dream, it's the result of consistent solo practice. Closing words. Before we end this episode, let's recap. Practicing alone is powerful. You can use methods like self-talk, shadowing, recording, role-play, teaching, debating, and storytelling. Create a daily routine, challenge yourself weekly, and track your progress. Keep your mindset strong, overcome self-doubt, and celebrate small wins. Remember, fluency is not about perfection. It's about confidence, clarity, and connection. So my message to you is simple. Don't wait for the perfect partner, the perfect moment, or the perfect environment. Start practicing now with yourself. Every word you speak brings you closer to fluency. This has been the English Diary Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey. Keep practicing, keep believing, and remember, your voice matters. You are capable of speaking fluent English, and the world is waiting to hear you.